within regards to the history of the famous Shas political party. Their party at the moment boasts inside the Knesset as many as 11 seats. I think currently the third or fourth largest political party. We're going to explore the history with regards to the political party. Remember, in this channel, we're exploring the great rabbis of yesteryear from hundreds and hundreds of years ago, especially from the North African and Spanish countries. So many of the rabbis, associated with the Shas political party, we've actually spoken about, their great-great-grandparents and their ancestors, respectively. So let's explore with regards to them. The current leader happens to be Rabbi Aryeh Deri, and it's actually interesting. The founders happen to be Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, and I think Rabbi Elazar Shach would encourage very much the formation of the party. It was instituted in the year 1984, so from the time of recording, we're talking about 41 years ago. In fact, it was a split, a breakaway, let's just say, in a way, from the Agudat Yisrael party. They were connected together. Currently, they are headquartered in Jerusalem. So what's the ideology, you can say? Sephardic and Mizrahi interests should be. Also, let's just say religious interests. It could be ultra-Orthodox related or religious Zionist related also. It's they concentrate on, let's just say, social democracy, conservatism, and populism, for example. That could be one of the things you could associate. And there's many different. In general, they are more on the fiscal side towards the centre left, and on the social side, they are definitely right wing, respectively. We can say about it. Obviously, they're affiliated with the World Zionist Organization. The colours of itself, of the Shas political party, an emblem, has multiple colours, including black, gold, and like a bluish azura, as they say. Interesting. I think that was more in the past, that was. And it's called the Shas political party. They currently hold 11 seats in the Knesset. In their heyday, we had in 1999 as many as 17 seats. So, which is absolutely phenomenal. I believe currently they are the third largest party in the Knesset here in 2024. And they've been part of nearly all governing coalitions, whether it was the Likud party or under the Labour Party itself. And so the party was originally called the Shomri Torah, the Guardians of Torah, under the acronym Shin Taf, pronounced as Shat at the time, or Shas. You could have said, however, Israeli election law required a party wishing to use letters for the acronym that already appear in the acronym of an existing party to first obtain permission from that party. And the Israeli Labour Party at the time, whose letters was Emet, Aleph, Mem, Taf, refused to grant Shas permission to use the Taf, probably because it was a similar thing. Instead, it was named Shas, an acronym for Shomri Sephard. So now, all of a sudden, the Shin and the Samach together, meaning Sephardic guardians, naturally. That was over there. So Sephard means Sephardic. Okay, the name is also reference to the 6 orders of the Mishnah and the Talmud, the Shisha Starim, as they say, both of which are often referred to by the name of the acronym Shas. Naturally, we will all talk about this naturally, which is interesting. Now, the party's legal name, I believe, is Atאחדות הספרדים, העולמית שומרי Torah, to give it its full title, meaning International Union, the Sephardim Guardians of the Torah. That is this. Now, it was founded in 1984, prior to the 11th Knesset elections. It was. I think in that same year, there was, let's say, a protest against a small representation of the Sephardim in a much larger, let's say, Ashkenazic Agudat Yisrael. Now, through the merger of regional lists, which were compiled in 1983, it was originally known, as reported over, as a worldwide Sephardic association of Torah keepers. התאחדות הספרדים, העולמית שומרי Torah, which you mentioned about a minute ago. Now, the party was formed under the leadership of the former chief rabbi, Hacham Ovadia Yosef, Rav Ovadia Yosef, who established a 4-member, including himself, Council of Torah sages at that time, and remained the party's spiritual leader until he passed away. Now, in founding the party, Hacham Ovadia Yosef received strategic help and guidance from Rabbi Elazar Shach, who at the time, let's say, was Israel's non-Hasidic, Haredi, Ashkenazi, Lithuanian leader at that point in time. And Rabbi Yosef founded the party in 1984 on the platform of a return, let's say, to religion, and let's say as a counter establishment dominated by Ashkenazic Jews of Eastern extraction at that point in time. So very much that was one of the sowing seeds. It's actually interesting because in the current day they've got 11 seats, the Shas Party, and the Haredi Ashkenazi parties only have about 7, so they're much larger in numbers. Now, in general, even nowadays and back then, not all the Shas voters were ultra-Orthodox Jews. Many of its voters were modern Orthodox or traditional Mizrahi and Sephardic Jews, and had alignment, let's just say, with promotion of authentic Middle Eastern Israeli culture, which also fits into traditional Zionistic beliefs of a revival of authentic, non-Europeanized Jewish culture. But obviously it will still represent at the same time the Sephardi and Mizrahi Haredi Jewish sectors inside the Knesset. Now, it's actually interesting. Shas, it's reported over reading the Wikipedia article, at times they were able to exert disproportionate influence by gaining control of balance of power in the Knesset within the context of the traditionally narrow margin between Israelis' large parties. Like, for example, its Labour Zionistic counterparts like Labour and Meretz that gain votes from the kibbutz movement. Shas gains votes and supports from moshavim. Moshavim are places like settlements where people will actually dwell in, visit it on this channel. Now Shas party will also gain votes and support from moshavim inhabited by Mizrahi and Sephardic Jews, either Orthodox or even non-Orthodox. Also, since it became a member of the World Zionistic Organization, it gains votes from Orthodox settlers in the West Bank also, which is seen as key. Reported over in the 11th election in the Knesset in 1984, the Shas Party would win 4 seats, which was a brilliant achievement at that time. And I think come what year 1999, they would gain as many as 17 seats, which was very strong forming. And I think there was even at one stage, I think there was an election in 2001, they were projected to get as many as 26 seats at one stage in time. They didn't get that at the end, but at one stage in time they were likely to get that. I think they would have 11 seats come up the 2003 election because the 2-ballot system was amended, only because of that reason. In 2006 it would gain an extra seat. It would take headlines all across the world media, these things. And I think at that point in time they would join the Ehud Olmert's coalition government alongside Kadima, Labour and Gil. And between October 2006 to January 2008, I think Yisrael Beitenu also were at that point in time. So they were really partners with many of the different coalitions all throughout. Now, it's actually interesting. In the government, Eli Yishai, I think, was a leader of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Labour, and even Deputy Prime Minister. That's how powerful they were in its heyday. And Rav Ariel Atias was a Minister of Communications, and Mushulam Nahari and Yitzhak Cohen were ministers at one stage in time, I think at that point, without a portfolio, which was also interesting. Now, I think following the 2009 elections, in which the Shas Party would win 11 seats, it would join Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition government and would hold as many as 4 cabinet posts. And Eli Yishai at the time, who led the party, was one of 4 deputy prime ministers and the Minister of Internal Affairs, which was astounding at the point in time. Now, it's interesting, they would branch out in America. I think come what the 4th of December in 2011, they would launch its United States affiliate, American Friends of Shas, based in Brooklyn. They would win, in the 2013 elections, 11 seats. But at that point in time, they would be part of the opposition. I think it was headed by Yesh Atid, Naftali Bennett, and obviously Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud at that point in time. So that was also seen as an interesting point in time. Now, let's just say one of the main objectives of the Shas Party was to return to the former glory. That's what's stated over. To bring back the cultural heritage and to fight against discrimination, social discrimination that might have been taking place, and really focus the needs of the Orthodox Israelis from these communities in itself. Now, it's interesting. They established its own government-funded religious education system called the Ma'ayan HaChinuch HaTorani, which became popular in the poor Sephardic towns, increasing the party's, let's say, popular support. they will advocate the political party, like, let's say, an increased influence on halacha, Jewish law, in Israel society, and actively engages in the Baal Teshuva movement, encouraging non-Orthodox Israelis of Sephardic and Mizrahi Jewish heritage to adopt an Orthodox Jewish lifestyle. Now, it's a Haredi religious party, as we said before, but it's also participated, as we've stated before, in left-wing governments to compromise on both religious and economic issues over here. Now, it's actually interesting. They had a moderate policy originally in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and Rabbi Ovadia Yosef had declared at one stage in time that lives were more important than territories. But by the 2010s, it had moved obviously more to the right, opposing any freeze, let's say, in Israeli settlement activity in the West Bank. And in addition, it was very skeptical, especially at a time of the Obama administration in the United States with regards to his intentions regarding Israeli-Palestinian peace process, and would start support and consolidation of Israeli settlements interests, especially regarding yeshivot and holy sites inside the West Bank, respectively. It believes in a united Jerusalem and supports a greater Jerusalem plan, let's just say. I think 2010 would see, as we stated before, the Shas joining the World Zionist Organization, making significant changes to its charter. One of the Shas's demands is a compensation package for Sephardi and Mizrahi Jews who are forced to flee their home countries and leave their property behind. And now currently, inside the current Knesset, there are 11 members in the 25th Knesset, including Rav Aryeh Deri, Rav Yaakov Marji. I think he would be replaced by Rav Ezra Malul, if I'm not mistaken, on the 2nd of February 2023. Rav Yoav Ben Sur, replaced later on by Rabbi Yonatan Mishraki in 3rd of January 2023. Rav Michael Malchieli, Rabbi Chaim Beton, who I think was replaced by Rav Sermion Moshe Ashibili in February 2023 also, Rav Moshe Arbel, Rav Yinon Azulay, Rav Moshe Abubul, Rav Uriel Bosso, Rav Yoel Taib, and Rav Avram Betzalel. Now, who are the party leaders in throughout? I think Rav Nissim Ziv will be between the years 1982 to 1984, Rav Yitzchak Peretz, 1984 to 1990, then Rav Aryeh Deri would have 9 years, between 1990 to 1999, following by Eli Yishai will take 13 years, between 1999 to 2012. And then I think come 2013, Rav Aryeh Deri would return as a leader of the political party at that stage in time. So we can actually relate over more important facts with regards to the political party now. Here, if anyone's tuning in, we're in a special edition exploring the history of the Shas political party. Who are the leaders? So we've spoken about the current leader is Rav Aryeh Deri. So he was actually born in Morocco in an area called Meknes, and his father's name was Eliyahu Deri, and his mother's name was, I think, her name was, if I'm not mistaken, Esna or Esuna. I've got to check the name. She was from Azugi family. His parents lived in one of the, let's say, new wealthy districts of the city and were influenced highly by French culture at that point in time. It was very popular in Morocco. His father owned a successful tailoring business. His family, I think, were a little more modern, traditionalist, Orthodox Jews. At the age of 5, Rabbi Aryeh Deri was enrolled at the famous Otzah Torah school network and had strong Orthodox Jewish religious education. Come 1968, he was 9 years of age. His family made Aliyah and settled in Bat Yam. And his family so Rav Deri would attend a religious boarding school in Hadera, and in 1973 he would start learning at a famous yeshivat Porat, let's say the bastion of Sephardic yeshivot in Israel. And in May 1976 he would be transferred to Hebron Yeshiva, very prominent yeshiva, and he would receive a smicha, rabbinical ordination. He would complete his yeshiva studies, and he was appointed secretary of the Haredi settlement of Ma'al Amos, and would join the Gush Etzion Regional Council. And in 1983 he was appointed administrative manager of Lev Banim Yeshiva. This was prominent enough also. Now, another one of the Knesset members was Rav Yehuda Deri, who I believe passed away only a year ago. He was 66 years of age. He was also from the family of Deri, Rav Yehuda Deri. I recommend everyone to look within regards to that video. We actually related over information within regards to Rav Yehuda Deri in a previous video inside this series, which I have to point out also. So Rabbi Yehuda Deri was also a great rabbi. I think he worked in Be'er-Sheva respectively. He was author of different Torah works, if I'm not mistaken, and had a key role inside the government. So let's explore more within regards to the political party. Who were the other leaders, or what was let's say, the other Knesset structures at that point in time, which we have to point out over here. Just to go back to it. Okay, so who were the members of the previous Knesset? The 11th Knesset would see they would get 4 mandates, the Shas political party. Included among them was Rabbi Yitzchak Hayim Peretz, who I believe was maybe the leader at the time, Rabbi Raphael Pinchasi, Rabbi Yaakov Yosef, the son of Rabbi Badi Yosef, and Rabbi Shimon ben Shlomo, a rabbi we've actually spoken to in this series before. And the 12th Knesset will see 6 mandates. They'll grow in size. Will be Rabbi Yitzchak Chaim Peretz once again, also Rabbi Raphael Pinchasi again, Rabbi Yosef Azra will be in his first son, Rabbi Aryeh Gamliel, another great rabbi, Rabbi Yair Levi, and Rabbi Shlomo Dayan. These will be the 6 members of the Knesset over there. This was in 1988. 1992 we'll see the 3rd time they will be in the Knesset. Once again they will receive a very modest and decent 6 mandates. Rabbi Aryeh Deri at that point in time, he would lead the party. Also Rabbi Moshe Ma'aya, also Rabbi Yosef Azran, Rabbi Aryeh Gamliel once again, Rabbi Raphael Pinchasi again, and this time Rabbi Shlomo Ben Izri will make his debut. Now the 14th Knesset, or their 4th time period of the Knesset, would see them get now grow to a staggering 10 mandates, included now once again Rabbi Aryeh Deri, Rabbi Aryeh Gamliel, Rabbi Raphael Pinchasi, Rabbi Shlomo Ben Izri. Now Eli Yishai will make his entrance. This is in 1996. He would make his first entrance. Rabbi Yitzchak Kohen, Rabbi David Azuleh, Rabbi David Tal, Rabbi Nissim Dahan, and Rabbi Yitzchak Vaknin would also get his place inside there. Now they would hit their peak in the year 1999 in the 15th Knesset. They would get as many as a staggering 17 mandates at that point in time. They'll have dominate, let's say, the Knesset at that point in time. And who was in that Knesset over here? Rabbi Aryeh Gamliel, Rabbi Eliyahu Swissa would be, Rabbi Eli Yishai will also be included, Rabbi Shlomo Ben Izri, Rabbi Yitzchak Kohen, Rabbi Amnon Kohen, Rabbi Nissim Dahan, Rabbi David Azuleh, Rabbi David Tal would be, Rabbi Yitzchak Vaknin, Rabbi Rachmim Mamlul, Rabbi Meshulam Nehari will be another one, Rabbi Yitzchak Savan, Rabbi Nissim Zev, Rabbi Yair Peretz, Rabbi Ofer Chugi, Rabbi Yitzchak Gagula, Rabbi Pinchas Tzabari, another great rabbi. So 17, and it would continue this, let's just say, goodness. But unfortunately, they would, from 1999 to 2003, they would shrink to 11 seats. Would be headed by Rabbi Eli Yishai once again, Rabbi Shlomo Ben Izri, Rabbi Nissim Dahan, Rabbi Amnon Kohen, Rabbi Yitzchak Kohen, Rabbi David Azuleh again, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Yitzchak Vaknin, Rabbi Yair Peretz, Rabbi Nissim Zev, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, and Rabbi Ofer Chogi will be. This was the 16th Knesset in 2003. Now we're in the 2006 elections, 3 years later, and this was their 17th Knesset. They would have 12 mandates now. Once again, they'll be at a very modest amount. Who would be in this one? This Knesset would be Rabbi Eli Yishai once again, Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen, Rabbi Amnon Cohen, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Ariel Atiyas. I think the first time he'll be Rabbi Shlomo Ben Izri once again, Rabbi David Azulai again. He's featured. Rabbi Yitzchak Vaknin, Rabbi Nissim Zev once again would be inside the Knesset. Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi Chaim Amsalem, Rabbi Abraham Michaeli, and Rabbi Mazur Behena. Interesting. Now, 2009, once again, they're keeping, let's say, their amount of seats, which are very decent. We'll have 11 seats. Once again, similar, pretty much a whole same cast. This includes Rabbi Elisha, Rabbi Ariel Atias, Rabbi Yitzchak Kohen, Rabbi Amnon Kohen, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi David Azuleh, Rabbi Yitzchak Vaknin, Rabbi Nissim Zev, Rabbi Chaim Amsalem, and Rabbi Abraham Michaeli. 2013 will see 11 mandates. Now, here, I was in Israel at the time of this. I already was living here, so I remember this election. This will feature Rabbi Eli Yishai, Rabbi Aryeh Deri, Rabbi Ariel Atias, Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Amnon Cohen, Rabbi Yitzchak Marji, Rabbi David Azuleh, Rabbi Yitzchak Vaknin. Also, I think maybe I left out 1 or 2 people. Now, 2015 will be another election where they would shrink to only 7 seats. I think at that point in time, Eli Yishai would start the Yachad party, and that would be one of the reasons why they would lower in numbers. This Knesset would entail Rabbi Aryeh Deri, Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi David Azulay, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Yitzchak Vaklin, Rabbi Yoav Ben Sur, Rabbi Yigal Goeta, also Rabbi Michael Malchieli, Rabbi Dani Sayada, and Rabbi Yanon Azulay also. This will be in that Knesset. Now in 2019, all of a sudden there'll be a few elections in a few space of a few short years. They'd get 8 mandates, very modestly. Once again, Aryeh Deri, Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi Yaakov Ben Sur, Rabbi Michael Machlieli, and Rabbi Moshe Arbel, and Rabbi Yanon Azulay. The 22nd Knesset in 2019 would see 9 mandates, growing in size once again. Rabbi Aryeh Deri, Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen, Rabbi Meshulam Nahari, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi Yoav Ben Sur, Rabbi Michael Machlieli, Rabbi Moshe Arbel, Rabbi Yanon Azulay, Rabbi Moshe Abutbol, who was the mayor of Bet Shemesh when I'm recording this video. Before that, 2020 will see 9 mandates, once again very modest. Aryeh Deri, Yitzchak Cohen will be, Meshulam Nahari, this was 2020, sorry, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi Yoav Ben Sur, Rabbi Michael Machlieli, Moshe Arbel, Yanon Azulay, Moshe Abutbol, Uriel Bosso, and Yossi Taib. This will be in that election. 2021, on the 24th Knesset, I believe. Once again, 9 mandates, very, very decent. Once again, the same faculty, pretty much as before, if I'm not mistaken. 2022 will be the 25th Knesset. Will entail, there'll be changes, obviously, at different stages of time, but altogether, the 11 mandates would entail at one stage in time, Rabbi Aryeh Deri, Rabbi Yaakov Marji, Rabbi Yoav Ben Sur, Rabbi Michael Malchieli, Rabbi Chaim Biton, Rabbi Moshe Arbel, Rabbi Yanon Azulay, Rabbi Uriel Busa, Rabbi Yoav Yossi Taib, Rabbi Avram Betzalel, Rabbi Yonatan Mishraki, Rabbi Erez Melul, Rabbi Simon Mishvaeli. That would be the Knesset over there. Let's speak a bit with regards to the politician Eli Yishai. He was also a leader for many years of the Shas political party. I believe he was born actually on the 26th of December in the year 1962. He represented the party in Knesset from 1996 to 2015, holding several ministerial posts. He was Deputy Prime Minister at one time, Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister of Industry, Trade and Labour. In December 2014, obviously, we said before, he would leave the Shas Party and enter the Yachad Party created, which didn't at the end enter the Knesset. They didn't get enough roles, naturally. He was actually born in Jerusalem in 1962. His parents' name was Tzion and Yvette Fortuna Ishai. Interesting enough, they immigrated to Israel from Tunis in Tunisia. And he was the second of 7 children, it's reported over. He would study, once again, also in the famous Yeshivat Paratisa, a place we visited and spoken about before in Jerusalem. He was in the Yeshivat HaNegev in Netivot. He was enlisted in the IDF and served until 1983. I believe he's married with 5 children, which is interesting enough. So it's good to experience. His wife's name, I believe, is Tzipi. And I think they live in the Harnof neighborhood. I'm not sure if he still works in politics, but I think come up the year 2017, he would become having an advisory role in the transportation company Ryder. And he's been involved in various different political activities and so on and so forth. So I thought this would be a nice special edition to explore some of the history and the science about the Shas political party. Because remember, on this series already, we've covered more than 1,000 astounding rabbis in this series already. So I thought it's always good to do a special edition to see, within regards to science of different parties that's taking place. And it's just amazing to see how, because I'm trying to formulate this online encyclopedia at the moment. Because I've now spoken about just videos, more than 1,000 videos of different rabbis. And lots of the rabbis, the history about them will repeat in various different videos because they're connected to other rabbis we spoke about. So my mindset is a lot on the rabbis from, let's say, we're talking about from 200-300 years ago. So it's always phenomenal and fascinating to actually see who are the rabbis in current day in Israel, and how, these great rabbis, what greatness they actually descended from, knowing all their history. It's a very, very interesting to have it, and it's very, very fascinating also to actually know all this knowledge and all this data, and I can't recommend it enough for everyone. It's actually interesting. Moshe Abutbul, as we said before, is one of the current leaders of the Shas political party, and this, I'm actually walking in the street where he was the mayor of this city where I'm actually recording this live from at the moment, which is very, very interesting at the moment. Now friends, we've got on this channel already more than 5,000 videos. We tour all over the country. We do videos on the daily page of Daf Yomi, the great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear, Parshat HaShavua, on the Hebrew months. We sightsee all over Israel. We do a lot of short clips and so on and so forth. So we're doing a huge amount. It's absolutely amazing what we're doing over here. So I would recommend everyone please subscribe to the channel now. We're nearly on 7,000 subscribers. Have a great day everyone, and take care. Thanks very much.